going through it right now. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not angry. I just shut down my computer. I had to restart. I had to clean up coffee. It was on the floor, broken glass. I got that mug in Portland, Oregon, at like a doctor convention. Except all those doctors had their like heads up their own, you know, noses. Their nose was up their own nose, you know? Who knows? Like, let me know what's going on now. Let me know how I'm doing. I'm low energy Steve today. Jeb. Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens. You gotta roll with it. Show must go on, right? That's what I heard someone say. Just Barbara Hershey. I don't know. Do I have any water? I have no water. No coffee either. You know, you gotta make yourself laugh, you know? Right, Grogu? You gotta cheer yourself up. When life gives you a coffee, throw it on the floor. That doesn't make any sense. Listen. Here's the good news. There was only like 2 sips of coffee left. So I didn't spill that much coffee. Hey, Ismail. I appreciate you saying hi. I need water. I'm choking now. I'm choking on this protein bar. The good news is I had a protein bar. The bad news is I was choking on it. The good news is I had water. The bad news is I've got rabies, which is called hydrophobia. Which is actually true. Like, if you get rabies and you're in, like, the final stages of rabies, you have hydrophobia. Like, you get, like, afraid to drink water. It's weird. That's why they call it hydrophobia. They're like, why this seems like a disease determined to kill you. You need water. I drink water almost every day. The video's better. How's the sound? My computer is just overloaded. So here's the deal, guys. First of all, we need to put Harriet Tubman on the 20. Second of all, I need to get a new computer. So I've saved almost half right now. I might have a drive, a computer drive, not like a hard drive, but like a soft drive. Computer drive. But we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people like knowing about the show yet. So we got to spread the word, guys. We got to let everybody know. Got to let everybody know that there's a show that, hey, guys, there's an internet show where a guy just talks about the news and stuff. The audio is good. Thank you. I was like literally having a meltdown. I melted down. You could have made a candle out of me. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It was good. You know, I'm glad that mug broke. I'm not gonna go that far. But it's because I have too many things on my desk. I have too many, and Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci got covered in coffee. Ow. It's covered in coffee. I would like to know, hey, I've got like coffee inside me. Your hand is probably covered in coffee. I've got my first dose of coffee, and in 3 weeks I'm going to get another dose. I've been inoculated for coffee. I'm totally immune to coffee now. Thank you. It's too many. It's too much. There's coffee. There's like, the best part about spilling and breaking and smashing a mug on the ground with 2 sips of coffee is that it gets everywhere. I don't like coffee. It's wet and it's hot and it gets everywhere. Thank you. We need an Anakin Skywalker talking head. You know my favorite? You know what always makes me feel better? Remembering how bad Star Wars Episode 2 is. That always makes me feel better. Am I right? Trying to self-soothe right now with some Anakin bashing. Remember the part where he's like, I love you. And she's like, I love you. And they showed us nothing that would make us believe that they loved each other. Star Wars Episode 2 is a love story between Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker. So we're told. So we're told throughout the movie. We watch these two people who have zero chemistry. A dude who like creepily looks at her. And we're to believe that they're in love. No, I say. Look, this is why I have these power bars or whatever you want to call them, protein bars here. For instances like this. Episode 2 is a cautionary tale about the dangers of entertaining little boys' crushes. Am I right? I can't see the comment on the screen. There it goes. You gotta turn it off and on again. Just like everything else. I appreciate you guys bearing with me through my meltdown. It just all cascaded. It all happened at once. I was like, nothing's working. My music's not working. The feed is choppy. My mug broke. But now I'm back. Because you know what? Predator weather report. I was in Rocky. And Rocky told me this. He said, it's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get up and you keep moving forward. And he beat me by 1 second. 1 second, Rock. 1 second. Yeah, but that second cost you everything, man. That cost you the title. Listen, Cardi B. I didn't ask you, but I appreciate your input. I appreciate that you watched the fight. Oh yeah, I seen all your fights. I even saw the one where you got killed. Listen, Cardi B, we're not gonna bring that fight up. That was Rocky 4. I fought the Russian. There was no way in beating him, but Rocky beat him. Look, Cardi B, you keep on bringing up some bad things, bad memories. Oh yeah, Rocky beat him on Christmas Day. If you ask me, they should have fought on Boxing Day. What? What's Boxing Day? It's the day after Christmas. Listen, Cardi B, I'm trying to tell an inspirational story. All right. Go ahead. Well, I kept moving forward. Just like Aristotle Full Throttle pretended to move forward. Even though he was still seething. He's still upset. But he's going to keep going with the show. Oh, yeah. 100% of the mug that fell on the floor. This is the drama today. I'm the Cookie Monster. We need to turn me into the Cookie Monster, Bernie. The moral of the day is the mugs break. And it's okay. It's like Pottery Barn. You break it, you buy it. Who's buying that mug? I'm not paying for it. It's snowing in the Northeast. Did you guys look at the outside? My mom showed me some video of the snow coming down, which is great because it makes me remember home. You are without power. Oh no. What happened? Did the snow do something to the power? A tale of misplaced entitlement. I think we're talking about episode 2. That's horrible. I hope that the power comes back soon. Now I have heartburn. Good news is I had a protein bar. Bad news is I got heartburn. You know, it's funny because this is how you write screenplays. Like something happens, but then something inevitably goes wrong with that thing happening, and then you have to try something else to get a little bit further, but then something else goes wrong. That to me is interesting screenwriting. That dude, Shane Black, who was in Predator also, he's a writer, he's a screenwriter, and that's kind of his rule of screenwriting. So if you watch movies like The Nice Guys, Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, if you watch these movies, even Last Boy Scout. I died. Even the last Boy Scout, you're like, this is ridiculous. You can't have a show where you talk and then you can't talk. Even in the last Boy Scout there, I like the part where he says, touch me again, okay. Hey, you got the fireplace. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is quite good. It's quite a good, it's a fun movie. It brought back into the consciousness how good of an actor Robert Downey Jr. is, because he was tanking his career. He was ruining his own career. See, it could be like that. It could be like you're handed everything like Robert Downey Jr. was, basically. And then he kind of was going to throw it all away. But he came back. He made a comeback. So, Robert Downey Jr. turns out is an excellent actor. We knew that, though. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has also got our friend Val Kilmer, friend of the show. I say friend of the show, but I'm just making that up. Who isn't a friend of the show? What else is going on in the news, guys? Yeah, The Last Boy Scout is a classic movie. I just remember that, I mean, it's not a perfect movie by any stretch, but it's enjoyable, and it's got a specific vibe to it where you could roll with it. You know what I mean? It's not the most excellent-est film ever, but, you know. Hey, there's a coup going down on Myanmar, Burma. You ever heard they have a coup happening there, which is crazy, because in the United States we had an attempted coup. I think they were banking on the possibility of the foreseeable coup that happened here 4 weeks ago in the United States. I think Myanmar was like, oh, if the United States pulls a coup, we can like low-key coup our country at the same time and nobody will pay attention to us. But now it's like, oh, you guys are trying to do the coup thing. Isn't that cute? That's cute. That's kooky with a P. Yeah. So I don't like to coup. Don't coup unless you got to. If we've learned anything today, don't coup unless you got to. I had a coup with my whole system turned against me just now. And my mug broke. My mug jumped off the table and decided it didn't want to live anymore. But, my mom sent me some more videos of the fireplace. Oh, there's no lights. There's no lights going on. Oh, wow. There's no lights. They have no power where they are. But they got warmth. They're doing it old style, you know? Caveman style. Smash two rocks together, create a flame. Make fire, you know? You know, the funniest thing is, you ever go camping? Anybody? I feel like, first of all, some people... I feel like camping is one of those things you got to do. This is a Rick and Morty joke. I always give credit to the jokes that I remember. Got to always give credit to the jokes. But Rick and Morty was like, the dad on Rick and Morty took everybody camping. He's like, camping, it's something we've all got to do at some point. It's never really voluntary. And I don't know. I'm a camping enthusiast. I like to go camping. I like to sleep outside because I don't have to. It's kind of another story of misplaced entitlement, Ricky. Look, watch me. I'm going to sleep outside. I don't have to, though. Take that, folks who have housing challenges. But it's a big deal. But the funny thing about camping is everybody's always fighting over how to light the fire. It's amazing to me. It's uncanny to me. I think it's hilarious that no matter how few or how many people you've got there are like 16. There's always 16 people. Even if there's 4 people in your camp, it's like 16 people. No, you gotta stack the wood this way, and then you gotta crumple up you gotta put some lighter fluid. No, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all wrong. This is like, I literally will like light a fire. I will create a fire listening to like 10 people discussing how the fire should work. And it's like, guys, fire equals oxygen plus fuel plus heat. We're done. We're done here. There's a fire. Get out your weenies. Put them on the stick. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're all sticking through this with me. I mean, I had a bit of a meltdown. It was a Monday meltdown. That's what we'll call it Mondays, because oftentimes there's nobody here. We're supposed to talk about WandaVision. But here we go again. With, yeah, I say here we go again because this is the second feed. This is the second attempt at a live feed today, which is, I think it's more successful than the other. Well, you guys stay safe, stay warm, stay near the fire. Don't argue about how a fire is made. It is one of my peeves when I go camping. There's always a bunch of people, like they want to feel like they made the fire, you know? You just got to give it to them. You just got to give it to them. You got to go make the fire. I got a task for you. But then even when they're making the fire, there's 12 people going, there's 16 people. You got to you got to use the way you do the wood. It's just fire, guys. You literally light fire. We've made it easy over the time. Oh, you don't have to rub two sticks together anymore. We've got matches. We've got lighters. You burn things with those. Everybody's got an opinion on the campfire. That's what we learned also today. Screech, man. Screech is gone. Screech has left us. Hey, Dave. Sorry, Tech. Why would I call you Dave? He had to snoop the WandaVision theories. All right. Now let's get into it. I'm glad you brought that up, Tech. Tech, sound guy extraordinaire, wears an identifiable hat, part of his look. Cool guy. Check out his stuff. Check out his channel. You still unboxing? Here's the thing. I think WandaVision. You guys all watch WandaVision? Is everybody caught up on WandaVision? Because we're going to spoil it. Here's the warning. Here's the official warning for WandaVision. We're going to spoil it. We're on 4 episodes in. We're 4 episodes into WandaVision. I think, now this is what I think, and if you guys have theories, please put them down here. If you want to join the Discord, hey, Tech, I'll send you a link to the Discord, because we've got a whole text channel on our Discord all about WandaVision. Here, let me send you this. I think you would enjoy, because there's lots of theories going down. They're marked as spoilers, guys. If you're on the Discord, you can mark it as a spoiler. You just put 2 vertical lines before and after the spoiler. This is the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. If you want to hang out with me 5 days a week and I can smash mugs on the floor and throw coffee and throw dolls, you know, if you can witness a live on-the-air meltdown. Listen, I would not be a live streamer if I did not have a live meltdown. It would not work. I'm just trying to check off the boxes. I'm trying to meet the requirements, you know what I mean? Because once we get to 10,000 subscribers here, once we get to 10,000 subscribers on Aristotle Full Throttle, I'm giving away a PS5. Can you believe it? My computer doesn't even work, but I'm going to give away a PS5 because I've already saved that money. I've put that aside. I'm ready to purchase that for you once we get to 10,000 subscribers. So tell your friends about this. Go to twitch.tv/AristotleFullThrottle and subscribe. Go to YouTube, AristotleFullThrottle.com. You could go straight here. It's great. And we can all hang out and talk about WandaVision. Here, Tech, I'm going to send you the invite. Thought today was if you guys go back and watch the beginning of the first live stream, I'm like, it's a momentous day, and then everything came crashing down. It's pretty great. Oh man, I'm sure it's like, I'm trying to revel in the hilariousness of how calamitous this initially was. But yeah, smash all the mugs. I'm gonna punch mugs. You're just a snooper because you worked on it for 2 months. All good, Tech. Here, let me get you to this, and then you can join our geek outs. I think because Wanda Scarlet Witch is dealing with, she's in some kind of situation. I don't know if she's being mind controlled or what. She was technically originally mind controlled. She and her brother in Age of Ultron. You guys remember that? They were enhanced beings. I think a couple things actually too. I think that the 4 snaps, I call them the 4 snaps, it's like the 4 tops. But the 4 snaps with the glove, with the Infinity Stones, there were 2 snaps per gauntlet. There was the original snap, killed half the universe. There was a second snap, which transported Thanos to his private planet. So there were 2 snaps in that, 2 snaps up in a circle. Do you know what I'm saying? And then we had the right-handed gauntlet. Was it the right-handed or the left-handed? Yeah, it was the right-handed gauntlet. So there's 2 gauntlets. It was the left-handed and the right-handed gauntlet, which snapped. Hulk snapped, brought everybody back, and then Tony Stark snapped, killed all of Thanos' army, got rid of the evil. That was 4 snaps. Now I think because they can detect the radiation, it's such a radiation power surge. Sorry, I still haven't sent you the link yet. Here you go. There you go, Tick. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for Disney and the Fox property, because they own it. I have indigestion. You know what that is? It's like when you can't speak a full sentence without burping. So I think that the Fox property, which is the X-Men and all of that fun stuff, now can be, because it was purchased and now it's owned by Disney, and Disney can now use that under the tutelage of Marvel, we can use all the X-Men now. In fact, the next Deadpool movie is going to be rated R, and it's going to be set in the MCU. How cool is that? All the Spider-Mans are coming back. Everybody's coming back. It's going to be one big happy Marvel family universe. Marvel Universe family. And I say all this because I think the radiation from the snaps can cause mutation. They can use that as a device to bring in the idea that there is genetic mutation now on the planet, and there's all sorts of mutants as a part of the radiation. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think about that? I think you just sent me I see you guys here on the thing here. Those are my theories anyway. If anybody else has a theory, let me know. I can turn on the voice channel on the Discord. Hold on. I just got to turn on the Discord. I got to press the buttons. I think also that last episode of WandaVision was excellent. I think the Scarlet Witch, she's going to be full-on Scarlet Witch. Now think about it. She's a Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange is good. His next movie is going to be Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So he is also a sorcerer. See how they're like tying this in? You've got the Scarlet Witch and you've got Doctor Strange, and I think Doctor Strange might even show up at this season, maybe for like a second, like he did in Thor. What? Yeah, he showed up in Thor. Not the Dark Thor, but the other Thor, Ragnarok. Doctor Strange showed up. I think we're going to see more, because we've got Monica Rambeau. She's cool. She's a boss. I was rewatching the episode earlier today, and I was seeing how they brought her back. There was a couple things I had questions about, but they sort of take care of answering it. For instance, Monica Rambeau's mother was the head of SWORD. She helped bring it up, and then her daughter was missing for the 5 years after the snapping, after the blip. So she was missing for 5 years, but somehow her mom was like still sending orders to her replacement, who was that dude. The dude who I don't even remember his name, but he was the head of SWORD now. And she was telling him, don't send my daughter to space or whatever. So do you think Monica Rambeau really died? Because Monica Rambeau's mother really died. Or do you think there was some kind of, maybe she'll show up. I'm just speculating. I'm just throwing these things out there. But I think that Doctor Strange might have to come into play at some point, because this is magic we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with sorcery, some like weird reality stone type of stuff. Yeah, she dead. Okay, she could be dead. But yeah. So we're dealing with some real Reality Stone. Is it Reality Stone stuff though? Because wasn't it the Mind Stone that gave her her enhanced powers, her enhancements? And that's why she shared a bond with Vision, because Vision had the Mind Stone in his head. Do you think that she will be able to reanimate Vision without the Mind Stone? Because there is a version of Vision without the Mind Stone. It's just an android in the comic books. And Vision is just in the comic books, and it turns out he's just a gray android like he is in WandaVision, which is really cool, because that, I mean, they have so many Easter eggs from the comic books. Even though they create new stories, there's so many allusions toward the comics. Yeah, it's the Mind Stone. So I'm wondering what the hell this situation's going to be. I mean, Is This Will said on the Discord that it's 10 episodes. Does anybody know if it's 10 episodes or 8 episodes or 6 episodes? I was under the impression that WandaVision was going to be a 6-episode limited series, but each episode's only about 25 minutes, so it's kind of short. I mean, it could be the idea for a feature, but just broken up into 6 20-minute episodes. Shuri seemed to be close to getting it out of Vision's. Yeah, so I'm wondering that if Shuri disconnected the Mind Stone enough from Vision to the point where he started to maybe like his programming, like he was, I don't know. What gives him his power to phase? Is it the Mind Stone that gives him the power to phase, or is he just such an advanced android that he's able to manipulate every molecule? And the Mind Stone gives him his personality. Because in the comic books, when the Mind Stone is taken out of Vision, he's kind of like just a robot with memories. A robot with memories of being Vision, but he's kind of stiff. You know what I mean? You think Vision will come back? Okay. Now Vision gonna come back? Is he gonna come back in the full form? Is he gonna have an Infinity Stone in his forehead? Because that's kind of a power to wield. I love the moment in Infinity War when, what's his name? The alien guy. I know his name. I forget it, though. When he was like, Stonekeeper. When he was talking to Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange goes around with the stone around his neck. He's going around with the rock. You know what I mean?
I ate 2 Infinity Stones for breakfast, man. They were all right. Overrated, man.
Which ones did you eat?
Oh, I ate the avocado toast Infinity Stone and the eggs Benedict Infinity Stone.
That's not even the thing, man. I thought you didn't even eat these things. I thought you didn't eat human food. I thought that you just bite rocks.
Yeah, man, I bite rocks.
Not 100% of the time, though.
It seems, Bernie, you're so last week. Bernie memes is so last week, man. This Monday is a new week. Yeah, we're gonna impeach the president next week.
Again?
Yeah, it's like part 2. Impeachment part 2. Double feature.
It seems like we've only given him, we've only seen 50% of 100% of his impeachments.
Oh, cool. Actually, they already impeached him 2 times. They impeached him twice, and now he's going on trial in the Senate. That's how it works.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to watch this must-see TV.
Remember, everybody, we have a WandaVision watch party every Friday on the Discord through Disney Plus watch parties.
Cool. It's true. All right, now I see that you have given us a theory. Let me read your theory. So here's the thing. Ricky Elliott says, I think Vision will come back because Wanda wills it. Wanda's visions are going to become material. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. What will be the catalyst to create realness out of it, though? It's cold here now, so we have to get the heat back to normal. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you guys, don't freeze. Please. Don't freeze. Warm up some coffee and put it in your favorite mug. Don't drop it. It already happened. Well, I loved that moment in the last episode of WandaVision where Wanda turned around and then Vision was like straight up dead. He was a zombie Vision. You know what I mean? The jump rope from the foundation has been laid. Yeah, you're right. They are kind of giving us little crumbs of, for instance, what was the thing that turned into a jump rope? Yeah, I think that works. I like that she's a doctor now, so-and-so. Dr. Kat Dennings showed up, and she's now the boss, telling everybody what to do. Because apparently, Natalie Portman's got too high of a price tag. She's like, yeah, I'll do Thor Love and Thunder if you give me $11 billion. How are we going to introduce the alien aspect? Because they don't just start talking about Sword. They don't just start talking about Skrulls and Kree like they did. Remember, they were very specific to mention, well, Monica Rambeau and the General were walking, and I don't know how she regained her clearance after being missing for 5 years. Don't you think there would be like a few hurdles that you got to go through to regain your clearance? Or actually, I've answered my own. There's an answer to that question. I know that I'm going on a little tangent here, but there's an answer to that question. I was watching the show, and I'm like, how come Monica Rambeau shows up after 5 years of being missing? And they're like, oh, yeah, here's your top-level clearance again. But the guy, the General, specifically mentions, he says, half of my guys disappeared, and the other half were scared. So he had to, once she came back, he's like, okay, you're back. You get back to your position. So while they're walking in through the hangar or through the Sword headquarters, he mentions, we learned about those aliens that are trying to kill us. And then she's like, also, there's aliens that are our allies. So you don't just have Monica Rambeau in the show. You don't mention the Scree and the Krull. The Kree. The Scree and the Krull. Just so you know. Krull is not just a movie from the early 80s that was like more exciting in the thought than it was with its like 5 spinner blades. I just made it up just now. The Scree and the Krull. Don't forget the show Secret Invasion is happening. Nick Fury and the Skrulls team up, baby. Yes! There's going to be so many shows. There are going to be so many shows to talk about. There are going to be so many shows to watch together here on Aristotle Full Throttle. And right now, I'm excited. Excited to do that. And Wednesdays, guys, remember, we're watching The Expanse every Wednesday. And I think is it the season finale this Wednesday? Or was it the season finale the other day? I forget. I think we got one more show of The Expanse. One more episode of The Expanse. And on Fridays, we watch WandaVision right after the show. This show is Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we geek out. Talk about all this kinds of stuff. We sometimes break things. And there are so many shows, which I'm excited about, because that'll give us no shortage of things to talk about, because these are really important issues. These are of the utmost importance. People really need to know where the hell the Skrull are right now. There's one more Expanse episode, yes. For some reason, I just drew a blank. I was like, did we watch the final one? Because the last season of The Expanse was only 8 episodes, I think. Or one of the seasons was only 8 episodes. But I like that they're... listen, you're going to give me a season, give me at least 10. Okay? I'm just putting that out there to the universe. You're going to give me a season of something, give me 10 of it. Unless it's just a limited run series like The Queen's Gambit, I'm fine with 7. It was good. I'm talking to the Queen's Gambit makers. Thank you for that. It was well done. Thank you. And then it was over. But if you are going to give me a season of a show, give me 10 episodes. I know that Obi-Wan is going to be only, what, 6 episodes? Who knows? Gotta say, I'm feeling a lot better. My mood has changed. I ate some food. Talking to you guys makes me feel better. Makes me happier. Things... I mentioned briefly, I think I could use the mug situation as a metaphor. It's like things are temporary. Things are temporary. But memories are forever. Unless, you lose your head in a horrible train accident. I don't know why I said that. But coffee also is temporary because you drink it. The point of that is, don't get too attached. I'm cracking myself up over here with the morbid jokes. There are so many shows, and I'm genuinely looking forward to these shows, and they better not just start to thin out and get lame. I don't know if you can say lame anymore. They better not just start to thin out with their quality in the writing. I think they need to really work at maintaining a level of quality that's acceptable. They've done it with the movies. The movies are real good. Even the Thor, the Dark Thor, is not that bad. It's kind of bad, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Their worst movie is just okay, in my opinion. I enjoy what they do. I enjoy the shows. I enjoy the content. When I was a kid, I would read these comic books and be like, how the heck would they ever make this into a live-action movie? And now we've got the technology. We've got the tools. We've got the talent. We've got the technology. We've got people like Ricky Elliott creating visual effects for Superman. It's amazing. We've got this amazing world now that we can suspend our disbelief and forget about broken mugs and go into worlds other than this. I need WandaVision to create a... I love the fact that they dropped in a whole bunch of things like the Agent Jimmy Chu. What's his name? His voice was in an earlier episode because he was trying to get Wanda to hear him because he was talking on the radio. Also, she saw the drone, but the drone changed into a different item. So she can change the reality. Do you think she's going to open up different universes? Do you think this is going to be the catalyst for the multiverse of madness? Because we know how these movies work. They're very leapfroggy. Something happens in one movie that sets off the next movie, and then the next movie, and then the next movie. So everything that happened... I always like to watch these movies. I always suggest that people watch these movies in the order of release in theaters, not in chronological order. A lot of people watch them in chronological order, but I think that a lot of the Easter eggs will be like retroactive and not forward. Do you know what I mean? So, for instance, if you're watching them in just chronological order, the movies, as far as the timeline, like starting with Captain America, the First Avenger, because it takes place in the 40s, and then sort of moving your way up through the series, I think that the way that the movies were released, having a consciousness, each consecutive movie had an awareness of the movie that was released before it, so you can there was a through line. I don't know. I prefer it that way. I prefer the order of release because I think that the storytelling arc works best that way. That's why I do not watch the Star Wars movies. Why would you watch Star Wars 1 through 6 or 1 through 9 in that order? Yeah, I agree with you, Tech. I feel like the chronological order is fine for rewatching as kind of a different watching experience. But if this is your first time, it really, because you would be watching... Now, you got to remember, WandaVision takes place in 2024. It's 5 years after the blip. Infinity War takes place in 2019, the year it came out. The blip lasted 5 years. So Endgame takes place in 2024, and so does WandaVision. So that's the future. So anything could happen to fill in the blanks, fill in the gaps. So my question is, we see Monica Rambeau rematerialize in WandaVision. So that's the unsnapping. That's the moment Tony Stark dies. Now, we saw in that final battle in Endgame, we saw WandaVision essentially almost take Thanos apart single-handedly. Wanda, let us be clear, could have just completely ripped apart Thanos were it not for Thanos raining fire. So when he rained fire, it kind of like just created chaos. He did like a Donald Trump. He's like, if I can't have it, nobody can. That's basically he did a Donald Trump. And no, that's the time the Hulk snaps. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. That is the time the Hulk snaps. Thank you for correcting me on that one. That is because what I'm thinking, I'm wondering how much time has passed since Monica Rambeau, since the Hulk snap, and when Wanda ends up in her made-up reality. You know what I mean? I don't know. Vision's been dead for 5 years at this point. So she's holding on to Vision. She's keeping him alive in her thoughts. She's keeping him literally alive. Iron Man snaps to get rid of Thanos. Yes. Yeah, it's probably 3 weeks. I'm thinking it's right after that because she's probably traumatized. She goes back to New Jersey or wherever, and then creates a whole other world where she can create, bring back her loved one, the one that she shares a connection with. Now, what do you guys think about this? Which Quicksilver are we going to see? Are they going to do a thing like all of the Multiverse of Madness movies that are coming out, like Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie? They're going to have Tobey Maguire. They're going to have Andrew Garfield. They're going to have all the Spider-Men. I say they also have the original 1970s. They should get the 1970s Spider-Man guy. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, actually. He played this kind of like the slimy director, the movie director. He's like, come on, we need to keep your hair long. That guy, that was the original Spider-Man from 1970, live action. Not the one from the Electric Company, but the other one. So I think that which Quicksilver are we going to see? Is it going to be the one played by the guy who played him in Ultron, or is it going to be the guy from the X-Men? Because are we going to learn that Magneto still exists in this world? Are they going to recast Magneto? These are all really important questions. Why would you get rid of Michael Fassbender as Magneto? I think he is a good Magneto. They should just bring him back. But is he too young to be her father? Maybe. Because, oh yeah, sorry. I'm just going off like we all know this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Magneto is the father of Quicksilver and the father of the Scarlet Witch. Not sure he's the biological father, but he did have something to do with fathering them. I watched it in timeline order and it worked for me, but was watching the Endgame tonight. I may cry a bunch because I cries like a baby at Infinity today. Oh yeah, you gotta watch Endgame. It's incredible. See, Endgame for me is one of the greatest achievements in cinematic universe. Like every cinematic universe that has been created on film, like Star Wars, for instance, none of them achieve what Endgame does. It really brings all of the threads together. It really brings everyone together. It really creates an epic, amazing, fun time. It was such a fun time. I really did like Endgame. You're going to love it. No pun intended. I think he is indeed their father. They make a joke about an X-Men apocalypse. Yes, they do. Evan Peters' Quicksilver references it to Magneto in an elevator scene. That's right. He's like, I don't know, that guy seems familiar. I like that he breaks his own father out. That was pretty cool. That's one of the coolest movie scenes I've seen in a long time when I went to see X-Men Days of Future Past, when Quicksilver breaks Magneto out of prison. That's why you go to the movies. Sometimes I whistle. I have a gap. Those, when I was sitting there in the movie theater watching Quicksilver save time in a bottle with that slow motion action sequence, I was like, this is why I go to the movies. This is why I go to the movies, to see stuff like this that just literally just knocks my socks off. I take my socks off at the movie theaters. Don't sit next to me. Oh, yeah, you're going to love it. It's good stuff. I was going to rewatch Endgame just yesterday or the other day. I was like, you know, when I need a good time, Endgame delivers for me. Yeah, I think he's biological, but didn't raise them. In the comics, not sure they're going to do that for MCU. Yeah. What do you think? Should they recast everybody from X-Men? Should they recast everybody from all of those movies? Or someone brought this up. I think Will brought this up in the Discord. He was talking about the fact that there's all this chatter, there's all this jibber jabber about Chris Evans coming back to the MCU, and they're like, Chris Evans is coming back. Chris Evans is coming back, and everybody says, well, yeah, obviously he's going to be Captain America. But Will pointed out that he was also Johnny Storm. He's also the Human Torch. So maybe he's going to show up for like a second as the Human Torch, and we're all going to go, ha ha, good joke. Because it gets confusing. So they're going to wipe the slate. Interesting. We're going to have to... Yeah. The Bryan Singer X-Men universe, it's just not great. You know, it's good. There are good moments. There are cool things that happen. I love the fact that Ian McKellen and Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Patrick Stewart, gotta say their whole name, right? I like the fact that they've got a relationship. I like that they've got that friendly rival relationship. All right, well, I'm going to hold you to that, Ricky Elliott. If they do this thing and then they bring in... Well, Ryan Reynolds is still playing Deadpool, and he's coming back. I was thinking the fact that there's WandaVision and there's like this whole alternate reality and that she's sort of inside of it and they're watching her on TV, it's softening us up for having a character in the MCU who can talk to the fourth wall, even though I would just buy it anyway because it's so much fun. I like that Deadpool just is very aware that we're watching. He's very aware of us. We are a part of Deadpool's universe. It's great. And no one else, they're like, what are you doing, Deadpool? And he's like, just shut up, okay? I'm talking to people. It's great. I think the fact that we're seeing something like this happen already is just preparing us for that type of suspension of disbelief. Because if we watch these movies, if you watch Iron Man, my friend, she just watched Iron Man yesterday. Again, she rewatched it. And you go back to that movie and you're like, this movie is so... It's so based in reality. Not really. I mean, but at least it's based on Earth. And the fact that we went from Iron Man to Endgame is incredible. Like, the fact that they kept bringing us into a bigger and bigger world every step of the way, and that by the end of it, we're in this gigantic grand universe with all of these important characters. By the way, I dropped some new photos from the set of Thor and Thor Love and Thunder. I dropped those in the Discord in the Marvel text channel. So there are new photos from the set of the Thor Love and Thunder filming. So looks like the dude who stole Yondu's hat, now who's Tim Gunn's brother? Is he? What? Not Tim Gunn. Tim Gunn's on the fashion show. James Gunn. His brother. Is it James Gunn? Or is it Cheryl? Venom being the exception since Spidey is still... Yes, that's right. They are going to try to tie in Venom. Did you guys like Venom? What did you think of Tom Hardy as Venom? I thought the movie was interesting. I still haven't finished the last 15 minutes. I fell asleep. But I was like, this is just so wacky. And Tom Hardy, I would like to say that he is extra, but in the best ways. He is extra in the ways that Jared Leto is not extra. Jared Leto is extra where you're like, all right already. Stop with the extra. You're too much, Jared Leto. You're too much. Tom Hardy is extra, but we're like, oh, that's just like icing. You gave us a little extra. I appreciate that. He squeezed a little bit out, a little bit more out. The Tom Hardy lemon. You know what I mean? Tom Hardy is extra in the ways that Jared Leto's Joker is not. And I'm sticking to that theory. Last 15 minutes is kind of a cluster F. Climax is hard to follow. I know that they introduce Carnage, that Woody Harrelson is at the end, as he's like the post-credit or the very end. I would love to see Woody Harrelson join the MCU. He's a fine actor. He's a good actor. I'm digging. Getting back to WandaVision, I'm digging Monica Rambeau. I think she's a great character. She's a boss now. She's the boss's daughter, and now she's the boss pretty much. Even though that guy kind of took her place, because she was the heir apparent to become the head of S.W.O.R.D., but she wasn't there anymore. So this other dude is the head, and he's like, "Oh, sorry," you know. Maybe he's a Skrull. Maybe he's a Krull. Still, it doesn't take away from the entire film. Venom was enjoyable. Maybe I'll rewatch Venom after this, cheer myself up. Any other thoughts on WandaVision? Where do you think it will end up? Do you think Vision will be back in the MCU? Do you think Paul Bettany will be back? I love the fact that Paul Bettany was Jarvis for like several movies, and then they put the Jarvis computer program into Paul Bettany. I liked that. That made a lot of sense to me. It's interesting how they were like, well, why don't we just cast Paul Bettany? I like that the casting makes a lot of sense in the MCU. I don't like, and there's a really good video on this. I think my friend sent it to me the other day, but I did watch it already. And it was like, why did Captain Marvel not work as well as Captain America? And there are many reasons. I think that Brie Larson is an excellent actor. She's an Oscar-winning actor. She's excellent. She's really great. I think, though, in Captain Marvel, either she wasn't given direction or motivation, or the character wasn't written fully, but she just kind of was like, I'm a superhero. I'm here. I'm a superhero, and I'm here. And I didn't really think there was much depth to what she was doing, and I was disappointed. I left the theater from Captain Marvel going, Brie Larson is so much better than this. Why she gotta be like this? Why I gotta be this way? Why can't... I wasn't enamored with the Captain Marvel character, but when she was in Endgame, I thought she did have a presence. I thought she did have a... Even though she shot Endgame before she shot Captain Marvel, which is hilarious. So she already had direction from the Russo brothers on how to be Captain Marvel. My bad. Let me know if I've misspoken. And so that was interesting. I thought that she was more interesting in Endgame than she was in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's not bad. It's just not, super duper great. I guess you'd have to watch Captain Marvel after what? Wonder Woman 1984. She was supposed to be, that's if you're doing it in timeline order, she was supposed to be a female pilot in the 80s. I think she was supposed to be cocky. She had to be hard in a male field in the 80s. Yeah. The one thing was, though, the thing that the video kept harping on is that everybody was like, you're letting your emotions get the best of you. And she wasn't emoting. She just seemed stoic the whole time. And it was not unlike Star Wars Episode 2, where they were just telling each other, I love you. And they weren't really showing it. I think that in the movie, she was just a little too stoic. I think she was... Only because they kept saying, you're being too emotional. And she's like, I am. She's way better. Why they gotta do you like that, Brie Larson? So, Ryan Reynolds has the benefit of being the only non-Disney Marvel film to be fiscally successful in years. Yeah, made like $1 billion, like the most successful movie, or rated R movie, most successful rated R movie ever when it came out, which is so good because everybody was like, "Oh, I have a gripe with Hollywood. Big surprise. Everything's PG-13, so they've got to like go middle of the road. They can't get too edgy. They can't get too, they've got to get the widest audience that they can. According to them, they think that the widest audience possible is if you rate the movie PG-13. It opens it up to most people, which limits you when you have a character like Deadpool, who is just gruesome and violent and profane. But you also have Logan, which was a fantastic film. It's a really good movie, which was rated R, but I think they only made Logan because didn't they make Deadpool right before that? And they were like, oh, I guess we can make $1 billion with a rated R movie. Because remember the 80s and 90s when there were rated R movies? It was probably more the 80s. And people went to see them? I don't remember anything about the 80s. Hold on. Nobody remembers the 80s, especially Wonder Woman, 1984. WandaVision, the future of WandaVision. We've got 6 episodes left, which I hope you guys come and watch with us. I figured out this is what we can do because F that noise, Captain Marvel rocked. All right. It was okay. Look, I'm controversial with my opinions on it. That's my opinion. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. I was even like, Black Panther was, it was okay. People were like, oh my God, Black Panther is the greatest movie ever. And people were very insistent on mentioning that to me. They were like, I really loved Black Panther. I was like, oh, okay. Are you telling me this for a reason? I thought it was all right. Because I think that Killmonger is a great villain. I totally understood Killmonger. I was like, yes, you're heir to the throne. You've got all the technology in the world, and you've been oppressed people. Why not just take over? Because you can. I like that. I like that superhero. I liked M'Baku. He's hilarious. That actor was really funny. I would like to see more M'Baku. He was also in Infinity War. So that was cool. But, I don't know. I just thought it was like above average Marvel movie. I think there are movies in the top 5. I do not... even though it got like the most money out of all of the MCU movies. And I'm happy and proud that there is a movie with like 12 brown people in the leads. 12 black people, 12 brown people, whatever. And the leads of a $200 million movie that made all the money. Because people in Hollywood always like, well, we can't bet on black. Hollywood is always like, well, we don't bet on black. And it's like, guys, just shut up. Stop. People are like, the world ain't ready. Well, ready or not. But I think similarly, I encountered... Look, I guess for me, the movie didn't speak to me as much because I remember the 90s music. And they just kept like crowbarring the 90s music. My critique of Captain Marvel is just, it's like there's a few things that jumped out at me which made me like take little demerits. I was like, I'm going to take a point off for the crowbarred 90s music because I get it. I'm just a girl. That's fine. I liked it, but I was like, this is on the nose. This is on the nose and it's almost pedantic. So, yeah. Look, people, we see ourselves in movies, and I think that different movies speak to different people, and that's the beauty of movies. That's literally why movies are excellent, and that's why representation is one of the most important things that we can have in society, that you can see yourself on the screen. If you could see yourself in a movie, you could see yourself on the screen. If you're a little girl and you see Captain Marvel, that is like the greatest thing ever, because You're like, oh yeah, girls can be superheroes. Girls can be the most powerful superhero. I love that. When you see Black Panther just like showing up, well, I don't want to spoil Endgame for you because you're about to watch it, but there's some amazing moments in that with Black Panther where you're just like, all right, they literally run the gauntlet. I'll just say that. They run a gauntlet. And they foreshadow the running of the gauntlet by playing football on you'll see. It's kind of expertly done. It's kind of amazingly done. She was supposed to be okay, yeah. But I don't know. Like, if I am just grading a movie on like just technical aspects, I'm a little nitpicky about it. I story-wise, I was nitpicky because Brie Larson's an excellent Oscar-winning, fantastic, phenomenal actor, and I didn't get that from her, and I felt cheated when I left the movie theater when I saw Captain Marvel, and that's the truth. I was watching the movie, and I was like, oh my god, I came to see Brie Larson rock because I just watched her in Room. I've seen her in other things, and she's great. And they did it wrong. They didn't write it. They didn't direct it right. Whatever it was, for me, I think, like, she was funny in it. It was good. There was, like, great chemistry with Nick Fury. I loved all that stuff. But there were certain scenes where I was like, oh my god, this was like, I didn't feel the things I wanted to feel. Yeah, now every time I see Chasmin Boswick, like every single time I see him talk on film, I get like a knot in my throat because he's like, it's like meta at this point. He was aware that he was sick and he knew the gravity of everything he was saying. It was kind of insane. That's kind of how I'll always view it from now on. Every time I see Chapstick Rogers. Every time I see him, I'm going to be like, man, he's telling it. He's saying it. I'm canceled. I'm canceled because I said I didn't love Captain Marvel. I told you, every Marvel movie is from okay to phenomenal. There's no bad, in my opinion, there is no bad Marvel movie. Like one where you're just like, this is bad. Maybe Hulk. It wasn't bad though. I don't know if it was bad or not. Didn't love it. Look, didn't love Hulk. Didn't love Thor the Dark Thor. Didn't love... I'm not going to put Captain Marvel in that because I think there are a few more movies before you get up to Captain Marvel is right down, maybe right above the center line. But I understand and appreciate the political and societal importance of those movies, and that's why I wished so hard that Captain Marvel was a little bit better. I did watch Black Panther like 2 more times, and it is really good. I love Black Panther in Infinity War. Got my chills with the E-Bombay. Listen, the E-Bombay gets me pumped up every time. Shuri is one of the greatest characters ever to exist in Marvel. She's smarter than freaking Tony Stark. Yeah, you saw Infinity War just recently. So remember the point where they're like, she's sitting with Bruce Banner, one of the smartest guys. He's like the genius bro. And she's sitting with Vision, who's also a genius. And then like, she's like, why didn't you just reroute this? And they were like, because we didn't think of it. It's so good. So I want to see the next Black Panther. I want to see Shuri. Look, I think it's a foregone conclusion that Shuri's going to be Black Panther. I think that we need to make that happen now. She's just got to be straight up Black Panther. We did no ifs, ands, or buts. Ready or not, she's Black Panther. I don't think the world will accept anything else. Would you guys accept anybody other than Shuri as the Black Panther in the next movie? That's a real question. I'm asking that. What say you? And then I'm going to go eat dinner and try not to be so angry anymore. But I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Real talk. Shuri. Do you think she'll show up in WandaVision? Maybe they'll have to call her in to figure out what the hell's going on. She is the world's greatest genius. Now that Tony Stark is not around. Bernie Sanders, maybe. Maybe to call up Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, the next Black Panther.
I would like to say that I think this idea has about 3% chance of happening. 100% of the time, I'm Snow Leopard. If I'm anybody, I'm Snow Leopard. I'm not Black Panther. There's no way that I could be Black Panther. I mean, maybe a little bit. It is Black History Month. And my tribute to Black history would be to become Black Panther. That's a terrible idea.
Bernie, I do not agree with that idea. I think that's a terrible idea as well. All right, well, I'm going to go to sleep now. Is it Frozen? I couldn't get... Is it Frozen? All right. Is it Cheryl? If it's Frozen, I think that's time to call it a day. Let's talk about this on the Discord. There's a chat room, there's chats, there's text channels. I would like to invite you to join me and geek out about it. Also, you can geek out with each other on there, which is fun. We have so much fun on the text channels over there on Aristotle Full Throttle. We received 100 messages. Thank you, Jen the Fierce, for creating the 100th message. Because I was just about to end the stream. Cool. I'm ornery today. It's Monday. I have a case of the Mondays. And what did we learn today? Interesting. We learned that things are temporary. Ideas and people, those are the important things in life. You can always get another mug. I'm really stuck. I'm really hung up on this mug. Good night, everybody. Yes, thank you for coming to hang out with us. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm working on it. I'm actually really determined to make this viable. I would like to make this a viable show for geeks to hang out, nerds, self-described geeks and nerds and cosplayers and LARPers, anything you want, anything you like to geek out about. That's what we do here. It helps us forget about the ills of the world sometimes. It's really inspiring sometimes to see actual heroism. That's why we talk about these movies with these archetypes. What's not typical is 4,600 Republicans left in Colorado and thousands more are leaving in the states. Leaving? Where are they going? They going to Arby's? Get a roast beef sandwich? Where are the Republicans going? Arby's? Are they forming their own country in Florida? I feel like Florida is gonna saw itself off. I believe there's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's like sawing Florida off and then it like drifts off. I wish we could. Look, I don't like Florida. That is no secret. Florida, man. See, I say Florida, comma, man. Not just Florida, man, but Florida, man. Why? I bet you Donald Trump's going to try to start his own nation. Florida Man Nation. The Patriot Party of Florida. He's going to try to create a civil war. Going to be a bunch of Proud Boys who should be ashamed, if you ask me. Ashamed boys. But you guys are wonderful. Thank you for hanging out. We powered through. I ate a power bar. Now I'm gonna go to take a nap. And at night, when you take a nap for 8 hours, they call that going to sleep. Oh man, I've got hours before I should go to sleep. We did it. They're turning away to become Democrats. Oh, I see what you're saying. They're not going to Arby's. They're not going to Florida. They're going to democracy. They're going to Democrats. I don't like when people say the Democrat Party. It's the Democratic Party. There's the Republican Party, and there's the Democratic Party. I don't understand how they kept saying Democrat Party. I think it's so they can avoid saying that they're Democratic. That they... but we live in a democratic republic, it turns out. People, it's a tug of war. So let's just have a tug of peace. You know what that is? I don't know what that is. All right, guys. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're deserving of love. And don't let nobody tell you different. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle, your bro with the fro. And I'll see you tomorrow, Tuesday, when I work out some of these technical problems, which has been the ongoing promise of the show. It's like a joke. It's like one of the funny things. It's like totally. It's like something you say. I've seen every single episode of the show, and there's always a technical problem. And, yeah. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow.